Hello, good morning, and welcome to this GEODE conversation titled The Public Awareness Challenges for Accelerating Geothermal Energy. This series is brought to you by the GEODE Consortium, which is led by Project Innerspace and the Society of Petroleum Engineers. It is funded by the U.S. Department of Energy's Geothermal Technologies Office. My name is Ashley George. I am the Senior Policy Advisor at Employ America, and I will be your moderator today. So today's show will last about 30 minutes, and we encourage you throughout the streaming of the show to please ask questions during the chat. And at the end, we will get to all of your questions. It is my honor to introduce you to our guest, Elizabeth Cambry. Elizabeth Cambry is the North America Geothermal Business Development Manager at Valorec, specializing in casing and tubular solutions for geothermal systems. She hosts the Geothermal Unleashed podcast, chairs the mentoring committee for Women in Geothermal USA, and serves as rig champion for the Geothermal Rising Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma rig. With over 16 years of industry experience, Elizabeth has held various leadership roles at companies like Baker Hughes and SLB. She graduated magna cum laude from the University of Colorado at Boulder with chemical engineering, Chinese, mathematics, economics, and international affairs degrees. Elizabeth, welcome to this GEODE conversation.
Hi, thank you for having me today.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So I will go ahead and start us off with some questions. What do you see as the main reasons the public remains largely unaware of geothermal energy? And which of these reasons do you see as the most important to address?
So, thank you for the opportunity to speak with everyone today about an important topic, the public awareness of geothermal energy. So, despite its immense potential, geothermal energy remains largely underappreciated and misunderstood by the general public. So, I will discuss the main reasons behind this lack of awareness and highlight the most critical issues that need to be addressed. Firstly, geothermal energy often lacks visibility. Unlike solar panels on rooftops or wind turbines that dot the landscapes, geothermal installations are typically out of sight. So, this lack of consumer facing presence means that geothermal energy doesn't capture the public's attention in the same way. Consequently, there is insufficient media coverage and public accessibility to information about geothermal as a successful and viable energy source. Secondly, there is a broad lack of comprehension regarding the different types of geothermal energy. Many people associate geothermal energy solely with heating applications, such as geothermal heat pumps for residential use. However, geothermal energy is also a powerful resource for cooling, and it can be harnessed as a utility scale power source. This limited understanding restricts the public's perception of geothermal energy's versatility and potential. Another significant factor is the perception that geothermal technology is geographically limited. Many believe that geothermal energy can only be harnessed in regions with volcanic activity or hot springs. While it is true that certain geothermal resources are more accessible in specific locations, advancements in technology have made it possible to tap into geothermal energy in a wider range of areas. This misconception discourages broad public interest and investment in geothermal projects. So, among these reasons, another critical issue to address is the lack of storytelling around successful geothermal projects and their real world impact. Stories have the power to inspire and educate. By sharing compelling narratives about how geothermal energy is being used effectively, we can capture the public's imagination and demonstrate its potential. Highlighting successful projects, showcasing the benefits to communities, and emphasizing the role of geothermal energy in achieving energy security and independence goals can significantly enhance public awareness and support.
Great, thank you. I definitely agree with the emphasis on storytelling. Elizabeth, could you tell me how have misconceptions or lack of information about geothermal safety, scalability, or cost influenced public opinion or support or political support for geothermal?
Sure. So, geothermal energy, despite its potential to deliver reliable domestic power, it often faces significant hurdles due to misunderstandings about its safety, scalability, and its cost. So, I'm going to share how these misconceptions have influenced public perception and political backing and why it's crucial to address them. So, one of the primary misconceptions about geothermal energy revolves around safety concerns, particularly fears of induced seismicity. So, these fears are often linked to fracking, a process associated with oil and gas extraction, and have unfairly bled into perceptions of geothermal energy. While it is true that geothermal drilling can cause minor seismic events, the risks are generally low and manageable with proper regulation and monitoring. However, the association with fracking has led to exaggerated fears, influencing public opinion and making it harder to gain political support for geothermal projects. So, another common misconception is that geothermal energy is only viable in certain geographic areas, such as regions with volcanic activity or hot springs. So, this belief underestimates the potential of enhanced geothermal systems and closed loop technologies, which can expand the reach of geothermal energy to a wider range of locations. These advanced technologies allow for the extraction of geothermal energy from areas that were previously considered unsuitable. However, the lack of awareness about these innovations means that many people, including policymakers, continue to view geothermal energy as a geographically limited, reducing its appeal as a widespread energy solution. Also, misconceptions about the risks and costs associated with geothermal energy also play a significant role in discouraging policy support and investment from the finance sector. Many investors and policymakers perceive geothermal projects as high risk and slow to develop, largely due to misunderstandings about the drilling process and the technological advancements that have made geothermal energy more efficient and cost effective. These misconceptions can lead to a lack of financial backing and political will, making it difficult for geothermal projects to compete with other energy sources that are perceived as less risky and more immediately viable. The accumulative effect of these misconceptions is that geothermal energy is often deprioritized in energy legislation and incentives. Policymakers may be hesitant to allocate resources to geothermal projects if they believe the risks are too high or the benefits too limited. So, this deprioritization can stifle the growth of the geothermal industry.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And because of these misconceptions on the risk associated with geothermal energy, in your view, what role should, government agencies or industry players and educators take in raising the public awareness of geothermal energy?
Sure, raising public awareness of geothermal energy is a multifaceted challenge that requires the concentrated efforts of government agencies, industry players, and educators. So each of these groups have a unique and vital role to play in promoting the understanding and adoption of geothermal energy. Government agencies are in a prime position to lead national awareness campaigns. So they can integrate geothermal energy into broader energy messaging. They can highlight its benefit alongside more commonly recognized energy sources like solar and wind. And government initiatives can also include funding for research and development, as well as incentives for geothermal projects, making it more attractive for both investors and the public. So industry players, on the other hand, should focus on collaboration for public outreach. By using unified messaging and sharing case studies of successful geothermal projects, they can create a more compelling narrative about the potential of geothermal energy. This collaboration can amplify their impact, making it easier to reach a wider audience and dispel common misconceptions about geothermal energy. Also, educators play a crucial role, especially at the high school and college levels. By incorporating geothermal energy into STEM and climate curricula, they can foster a new generation of informed and enthusiastic advocates. Educators can help students understand the science behind geothermal energy, its applications, and its importance in the context of global energy needs and climate change. Public private partnerships are another effective strategy. So, these partnerships can fund regional demonstration projects that include strong community engagement components. By involving local communities in these projects, we can provide tangible examples of geothermal energy in action, making the benefits more relatable and understandable to the public. Finally, universities and research institutions have the expertise to translate technical knowledge into accessible educational content. By producing materials that are easy to understand and widely available, they can bridge the gap between complex scientific concepts and public comprehension. This can include everything from online courses and public lectures to informative videos and articles.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. It sounds like there's a lot of potential here for folks to collaborate so we can boost the awareness of geothermal. Another way to boost awareness of geothermal would be for the industry to better position itself as a key pillar for national energy security and independence. So, how can geothermal do this, especially in regions with untapped potential?
Sure. So geothermal energy offers unique advantages that can significantly contribute to our energy landscape. And by strategically leveraging these benefits, we can enhance our national energy security and independence. So, firstly, it is crucial to emphasize geothermal energy's ability to provide 24/7 baseload power. Unlike intermittent energy sources such as solar and wind, geothermal energy can generate consistent and reliable power without the need for fuel imports or the risks associated with supply chain disruptions. This stability makes geothermal energy an invaluable asset for ensuring a steady and secure energy supply, which is essential for national energy security. Targeting regions with retiring coal plants or decommissioned oil wells for geothermal redevelopment is another strategic approach. These areas often have existing infrastructure that can be repurposed for geothermal projects, reducing the initial investment and development time. By transforming these sites into geothermal power plants, we can revitalize local economies and create jobs. Emphasizing domestic drilling expertise is also key to positioning geothermal energy as a source of national pride and energy resilience. The United States has a strong foundation in the oil and gas industry with world leading subsurface drilling capabilities. By leveraging this expertise, we can tap into geothermal resources more effectively, diversifying our energy mix and enhancing grid stability. This approach not only showcases our technological prowess, but also reinforces the messages that geothermal energy is a homegrown solution that contributes to national energy independence. Including geothermal energy in grid modernization and resilience planning is another critical step. As we upgrade our energy infrastructure to meet future demands, geothermal energy should be integrated as an essential component. Its ability to provide consistent power can help stabilize the grid, making it more resilient to fluctuations and disruptions. By positioning geothermal energy as a cornerstone of our modernized energy infrastructure, we can ensure its long term viability and importance. Strategic outreach in rural and resource rich areas is also vital. These regions often have significant geothermal potential and can benefit greatly from the economic opportunities that geothermal projects bring. By aligning geothermal development with job creation and local economic stability, we can garner strong community support and demonstrate the tangible benefits of geothermal energy. This localized approach can help build a broad base of public and political backing for geothermal initiatives.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm glad that you mentioned the similarities here between subsurface drilling and geothermal, as well as the oil and gas industry, which has become a pillar of energy security and energy independence, especially here in the United States. And so, what communication or branding strategies used by the oil and gas industry could geothermal companies adopt, to improve their visibility and trust with the public? What kind of lessons learned can we take from oil and gas into geothermal?
Sure. Well, firstly, the oil and gas industry has effectively framed energy as essential to national security, economic prosperity, and job creation. So, geothermal companies can adopt this framing by emphasizing the role of geothermal energy in providing reliable 24/7 baseload power that enhances energy security. Also, highlighting the geothermal energy's potential to create jobs and stimulate local economies and enhance domestic energy independence can be done. So, strategic lobbying and coalition building have been instrumental in securing long term influence for the oil and gas sector. Geothermal companies can replicate this approach by forming alliances with energy stakeholders, including other renewable energy companies, environmental organizations, and community groups. By presenting a united front, the geothermal industry can advocate for more effectively for supportive policies and incentives, ensuring that geothermal energy is recognized and prioritized in energy legislation. Public facing advertising is another area where the oil and gas industry excels. Geothermal companies can benefit from similar campaigns that highlight the real world impact of geothermal projects. Showcasing successful case studies, community benefits, and technological advancements can build public trust and interest. Visual storytelling, including videos and infographics, can make complex concepts more accessible and engaging for the general public. So, tying geothermal development to community investment and job creation, this is a strategy that mirrors successful oil and gas playbooks. Emphasizing the local benefits of geothermal projects, such as job opportunities, infrastructure improvements, and economic growth, can build strong community support. Engaging with local stakeholders and demonstrating a commitment to community well being can help mitigate opposition and foster positive relationships. Finally, branding geothermal energy as a high tech, future forward, and tied to innovation can modernize its image. Instead of being seen merely as a source of heat or earth based energy, geothermal can be positioned as a cutting edge solution that leverages advanced technologies for power generation. Highlighting the innovative aspects of geothermal energy can attract interest from tech savvy consumers and investors.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We're not the first to talk about how oil and gas know-how is going to be crucial to advancing, the geothermal industry, especially in the realm of public awareness. My next question for you, and before I ask that, I just want to remind the audience to please feel free to ask questions in the comments. We will get to audience questions at the end. And so, Elizabeth, my next question for you is, what barriers within the oil and gas industry are currently limiting its ability to promote geothermal as an energy source?
So, despite the potential synergies between these sectors, several challenges hinder the oil and gas industry's full embrace of geothermal energy. Firstly, risk aversion and shareholder expectations, they play a significant role. So large oil and gas firms are often cautious about investing in unproven geothermal business models due to the perceived financial risks. Shareholders typically expect stable returns, and the uncertainty associated with geothermal projects can make these investments less attractive. This cautious approach can stifle innovation and slow the adoption of geothermal technologies. Secondly, a lack of internal geothermal expertise or champions within oil and gas companies can prevent strategic prioritization of geothermal energy. Many oil and gas firms have extensive knowledge and expertise in fossil fuel extraction, but may lack the specialized skills needed for geothermal development. So, without internal advocates to push for geothermal initiatives, these projects can struggle to gain traction and receive the necessary resources and attention. So, addressing these barriers requires a concerted effort to educate stakeholders about the long term benefits and potential of geothermal energy. So, by highlighting successful case studies and demonstrating the viability of geothermal projects, the industry can build confidence and attract investments. Additionally, fostering partnerships between oil and gas companies and geothermal experts can help bridge the knowledge gap and promote the strategic integration of geothermal energy.
Great. And then lastly, Elizabeth, what are some existing resources that are currently helping to raise public awareness and understanding of geothermal energy right now that folks can take advantage of?
Sure. So there's several existing resources that are actively helping folks to raise their awareness and understanding of geothermal energy. So we have industry organizations like Geothermal Rising that play a crucial role by providing public education, media content, and they host events that highlight the benefits and potential of geothermal energy. So these efforts, they're helping to inform and engage the public, and they foster a great appreciation for geothermal. Also, we have the Society of Petroleum Engineers, and they have made significant contributions through its geothermal technical section. So, this online platform leverages the technical synergies between the oil and gas industry and the geothermal industry, promoting the exchange of knowledge, technologies, and the best practices. So, by fostering collaboration, SPE helps to accelerate innovation and advance energy solutions that strengthen energy security. We also have SPE's One Petro. That's another valuable resource that I love. So this extensive online library hosts thousands of technical papers and conference proceedings that are widely used by engineers, geoscientists, and researchers in the oil and gas industry. So by including geothermal specific research, best practices, and case studies, One Petro integrates geothermal into the mainstream technical discourse of the subsurface community. So this approach presents geothermal not as an alternative, but as a natural extension of existing drilling and reservoir expertise, making it easier for oil and gas professionals to adopt and champion geothermal energy. We also have GeoBridge, which is an online platform to bridge data gaps and improve access to geothermal information and tools. So it provides foundational knowledge, best practices, and accessible data sets that support stakeholders in accelerating geothermal energy deployment. So by making this information readily available, GeoBridge helps to empower stakeholders and drive the growth of geothermal energy. So, in summary, these were resources. We have Geothermal Rising, SPE's Geothermal Technical Section, One Petro, and GeoBridge. And these are all instrumental in raising public awareness.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Um, just a reminder, folks, please ask questions if you have any for Elizabeth on public awareness challenges that the geothermal industry is facing and what we can do to kind of enhance them. I will ask one more question since it doesn't look like we're having folks ask any more, but we talked about the significance of oil and gas know-how, right, in advancing geothermal industry. And so, what ways can the oil and gas industry actively support and amplify public awareness of geothermal energy today?
Sure. So the oil and gas industry has a unique opportunity to actively support and amplify public awareness of geothermal energy. So there are several impactful strategies. So first, the industry associations, they can play a pivotal role by including geothermal content in their conferences, publications, and lobbying agendas. So by highlighting geothermal energy alongside traditional fossil fuels, these associations can educate stakeholders and policymakers about its benefits and potential. Secondly, oil and gas firms can integrate geothermal into their workforce transition and reskilling narratives. By positioning geothermal energy as a natural extension of their existing expertise, they can build a bridge between legacy and future energy, ensuring a smooth transition for their workforce. Lastly, sharing subsurface data, drilling technologies, and site access can catalyze geothermal development in new regions. Oil and gas companies possess valuable resources and knowledge that can significantly advance geothermal projects. So, by collaborating and sharing these assets, They can help to unlock geothermal's potential and drive innovation.
Great. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. You know, geothermal energy is the future, and we have a job here to kind of amplify this public awareness challenges facing so that folks can be aware and we can use this as a, 24/7 baseload solution for our energy needs. This has been a great conversation, Elizabeth. Doesn't look like we have any audience questions today. Thank you all for attending. I'm just going to ask we just ask you all to provide feedback. There's going to be a QR screen up here. You can scan that QR screen and just provide feedback on this conversation and any of the other Geo conversations you've been able to attend. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth, and answering all my questions. It's been a great conversation.
Thank you. It was great.